The morning show here on Outrage News. Joining us now is Okpe. You see, I'm excited. With stories trending around the world. Hello, G.
Tell us why you're excited. Good morning, Dr. Abati.
Yes, thank God it's Friday.
TGIF. Good to see you too. Good morning, Adeswa. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Good morning, OG.
It's Friday, don't worry.
Yes.
We're going on a long weekend. Let's hope we don't see you here tomorrow. Good morning, Rufai. How are you?
Ojo, we're not seeing you only just yesterday felt like a year.
Well, it's good to see you too. Good morning. Well, good morning to you, viewers. We begin What's Trending with reactions to the Nigeria at 60 logo, which was unveiled on Wednesday to mark Nigeria's 60th anniversary on October 1st, 2020. While emerging facts have revealed that the logo, launched with so much fanfare by President Muhammadu Buhari, have been plagiarized. The contention is the centerpiece diamond, which is the exact replica of a Russian-made dynasty diamond, a 51.38-carat traditional round-cut diamond, which the Russian mining company described as the purest of all large diamonds in the country's jewelry history. The anniversary logo, which may have cost Nigeria's taxpayers a fortune, may now become a source of copyright infringement. Well, let's take a quick listen to the president at the unveiling ceremony before we take some reactions.
That the selected option depicts our togetherness, a country of over 200 million people whose natural talent, grit, and passion glitter like the precious diamond we are. This, to me, is a special appreciation to our most precious asset, our people. Everywhere you go, Nigerians are sparkling like diamonds in the pack, whether in academia, business, innovation, music, movie, entertainment, fashion, and culture.
I really loved what the president said at the unveiling ceremony. I mean, it is the fact everywhere we go, we see Nigerians shining like diamonds in the sky, right? Well, you know, the contention, which is the centerpiece diamond on the 60, on the word 60, the letter 60, I beg your pardon, has caused a lot of reactions on social media. Let's take some reactions before we discuss. Human rights activist Segun Awosonya wrote, Russian mining giants should sue for copyright infringement. Despite all the talents we have in Nigeria, our rulers prioritize sub-literates and quacks who still plagiarize and infringe on the intellectual property rights of others for exhibition as an achievement. Hashtag shut this down. Well, another Facebook user, Joel, wrote, new level of fraud. I don't know why every new initiative it comes out with is tainted with fraud. Yesterday, they launched the logo of what they called Nigeria at 60 anniversary. Someone dug deep to discover that, like the inaugural speech, it's someone else's brainwork that's looted or relooted. I mean, you know, it is a very, dicey subject at this point. I mean, I don't understand how, this could happen. I don't know if there was no verification for that logo. Apparently, this Russian mining company unveiled this diamond, back in 2017. And right now, it's been sold already to, another, jewelry company, which has its headquarters in Dubai, as well as in Switzerland. The diamond sold for about $10 million. I mean, it's such a big deal. And I don't understand why this happened the way that it did.
Indeed. I mean, it's becoming one too many allegations of plagiarism with this administration, whether it's the speech, which that Twitter user mentioned, or the APC campaign logo.
Yeah.
Remember the controversy around the Next Level logo as well. We were told that, there was a pre-selection process, an internet challenge for Nigerians to select this particular from a set of 4. That's what the president said. Although the SGF said in total there were 15 of them, and this was chosen. It's not cast in stone. I mean, if there are other logos. Yesterday, I heard that even the the logo for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, indeed, was also merged in controversies of plagiarism, and it had to be scrapped. They have scrapped the 2020 Tokyo Olympics logo. So it's not cast in stone. If there are controversies surrounding this, let's drop it and go for another one.
Well, I think this is much ado about nothing. I mean, that picture of the diamond that is put at the center of the Nigerian map and the play on dark green and light green is merely representational, it's symbolic. It doesn't matter to me whether the image is taken from Russia or is taken from Namibia or anywhere else in the world. I think we should focus more on the message, which is about unity. The president himself offered a description of the logo that was selected out of a short list of 4 by the Interministerial Committee. The dark green, drawing attention to the wealth, the richness of Nigeria's flora and fauna. The light green, drawing attention to the warmth, the love, the idea of unity among the people, with the map of Nigeria at the background, and with the theme, Together We Shall Be. I think Nigerians should focus more on the message rather than the symbolism of the logo. In the course of the 11-month celebration, if we so choose, we can change the logo. We can, in fact, move to one of the other 4 that was, the 4 that were shortlisted.
Right.
So the issue here is about the theme, Together We Shall Be, and that resonates with many Nigerians who are patriotic, who think that, there is strength in diversity, and as Nigeria marks 60th anniversary of its independence, we should remind ourselves of the values inherent in the idea of Nigeria itself. However, as we said yesterday, there are challenges facing the nation, facing the country, a country that has found it very difficult to transform from being a country to becoming a nation. A country that has many fault lines that have been further expanded by ethnicity, by religion, and by the failure of leadership. That, I think, should be the focus of the conversation. If there is any copyright issue with the logo, it should be changed, right? So that's just about it. But we should not, dilute the narrative about Nigeria as 60, a country of great potentials that has not been able to achieve its greatness. But in the midst of all of this is the point made by the president about the resilience of the people,
yes,
about the quality of the people, about how Nigeria can produce an international model on the runway like Okpe, and can produce similar persons who have distinguished themselves in various spheres of life.
Dr. Bati, you had to go there. Well, can produce
bright.
a doctor like you, an intellectual doctor like Dr. Abati. Well, Rufai, what is your take?
Okpe, why did you say you had to go there? Are you not an international model? What are you saying? You're an internationally sought after Okpe. So we have to say it bold and Okpe.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, my point is, in the spirit of unity, I thought we'll have had a competition. I mean, when we needed the new national flag, we had a competition, and Patai Wakikumi, that lived in Tiyolobe in Dugbe in Ibadan, won it. I mean, because I had dealings with Patai Wakikumi before he... and when we needed a new national anthem, we had a competition. And the police officer, Benson Odiase, emerged. So concerning this, let's have a competition.
No, there was a competition.
That includes, it wasn't publicized. I didn't see Dr. Abati. I didn't see the publicity. It should be publicized. It should be a national competition. In fact, we should have a national flag off of the competition where we say, okay, we are looking for a logo that truly represents us. And let's celebrate it, amidst pageantry and fanfare and everything. Because if we do that, then a lot of people will be part of it. So if there was a competition, obviously I didn't know about it. I worked in media. I didn't know about it. I want to know about it. Because we need to celebrate this. Like you said, we need to celebrate the strength of this country. This country is blessed. It's so blessed. Is this country, you have an internationally sought after model like Okpe and her friend Oluchi. And you also have the designer of the Chevy Volts, Jalila Aliyu. And you also have the likes of Professor Wole Soyinka, the first and only African thus far to win a Nobel laureate. to win a Nobel Prize in literature. Even in Ngugi wa Thiong'o of Kenya have not won it yet. So, I mean, no shade to Kenyans, but the truth has to be said. We're a blessed country, and across board in every area, we have the best doctors, the best pharmacists. Go to every hospital in the UK, you will see it's a Nigerian doctor treating you in the UK. We are doing quite well everywhere. We are doing well as a nation. Great people. And that's what we should celebrate, because that is what has held this country strong. The strength and viability of its people. Nigeria is as strong as its citizens all over the world. And these citizens have made the country great. That should be the theme.
Well,
but for all of this...
Slight correction there. Professor Olusoyinka is not the only African to have won the Nobel Prize in Literature. Naguib Mahfouz also won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1988. And he's from Egypt.
Okay, he's from Egypt. Okay. So let me say the first black African to win a Nobel Prize, Dr. Abati. Yeah. Black African to win a Nobel Prize. Because Najib obviously is not black. So the first black African to win a Nobel Prize. Wow. So at least we've done that.
So you said people from Egypt are not black?
No, I know the Nubians are black. The Nubians are black, but Najib is not black.
That's what I'm saying. Naguib Mahfouz, 1988. Yeah. Nobel Prize in Literature from Africa.
Right.
Okay. So, but that's just what I'm trying to say. Let's celebrate the harmony.
We get your point, Rufai. We'll take another story. Nigerians have expressed outrage over an accident that occurred in Osun State, Nigeria, where two young men suspected to be fraudsters lost their lives after a high-speed chase by security operatives. Eyewitnesses say the vehicle veered off the road, somersaulted and crashed into a nearby standing electricity pole. The young man died on the spot, while 3 others in the vehicle are currently fighting for their lives. According to reports, the officers fled after the accident by shooting sporadically to escape being attacked by an angry mob. With the hashtag #EndSARS, many Nigerians have taken to Twitter to urge the Inspector General of Police and President Muhammadu Buhari to overhaul the Special Anti-Robbery Squad unit and the Joint Task Force. Let's take some reactions. Well, human rights activist Segun Awosanya, actually, he wrote to President Muhammadu Buhari. He said, President Muhammadu Buhari is aware of the impunity of the Nigerian police and the presidency, and he knows that the officers, including the Inspector General of Police, are victims of the system, being blamed for what they can't fix. A single order from the president can shut down the cancer, but do our lives matter? Hashtag #EndSARS. While another user posted a video showing some officials of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad unit assaulting a man, one of the officers was seen kneeling on the back of the man. The tweet reads, "We are battling COVID-19, and also SARS is terrorizing innocent citizens with reckless abandon. This happened in Port Harcourt today." Let's take a quick look if we have that video.
Can you see what they are doing to him? He is innocent Nigerian. Can you see? Can you see what they are doing to him? He is innocent Nigerian. Can you see?
This was quite horrible yesterday. When I saw this video, I was quite outraged. I mean, it's almost like the George Floyd style. I mean, it seemed like the eyewitness, it was, recording this video throughout and was saying that this gentleman did absolutely nothing, that they were just harassing him. And I don't understand why they had to put him on the floor. Nigerians are really outraged on Twitter. They are, calling for this end to this extrajudicial killings that we are facing here in Nigeria by either the SARS or the Joint Task Force. But, thankfully, only yesterday, President Muhammadu Buhari, signed the Police Bill 2020 into law. And hopefully, that also would help to try to, reorganize this group or even just scrap them.
And the tactical force has become a nightmare for a lot of young Nigerians, especially young males. They are profiled physically. Sometimes your only crime may be that you have a dreads on, or maybe your shirts are not buttoned properly, or you don't have a belt, which I don't understand. I think that the tactical force has outlived its usefulness. Kudos must be given to Segun Awosoya, also known as Shagaling, who has spearheaded this NSAS campaign for a while now. There was an attempt to reform it where we were told that there will now be only federal SARS, and then I think they were taken away from commissioners of police and now domiciled under AIGs. But that was not enough. That was piecemeal. As we see, it hasn't reformed anything. I think it's a structural problem. It's the entire force, because what is SARS? They are part of police officers. Is it not the same issues we have in the entire police system? So it's an entire structural problem we need to look at. Yes, the police reform bill, which is now law, a lot of people have hailed it as a welcome development. But as we all know, implementation is also a challenge. So we would like to see how the implementation of that law will transform to Nigerians having a police, people-friendly institution. That's what we need. If the police is your friend, then we shouldn't be seeing this.
Okay, well, first, before I comment on this, additional information on Nobel Prize in Literature and Africans. We have mentioned Wole Soyinka, we have mentioned Naguib Mahfouz from Egypt. Nadine Gordimer from South Africa also won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1991, I think. So that's to put the facts as they are. Now on SARS, I think the Special Anti-Robbery Squad should be scrapped. In February, the Inspector General of Police, following the killing of a gentleman called Tiamiyu Kazim, a member of the Remo Stars Football Club, by this same Special Anti-Robbery Squad, decided to shut down satellite offices of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad. And you recall that at the time, Nigerians had said, no, it's not about shutting down satellite offices of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad. The thing is to disband that entire unit, which belongs to the Criminal Intelligence and Investigation Department of the Nigerian Police Force. It's one of the 14 units under that CID department of the police. But since 1992, when it was established, with 15 men, as a child of necessity, at a time when there was a confrontation between the police and soldiers, and policemen disappeared from the streets of Nigeria, and crime rate went up, the police at the time decided to set up this Special Anti-Robbery Squad to check the rise in the crime rate. But since that 1992 date, this particular unit of the police has developed into a terrorist group within the Nigeria police. It has developed into a unit for extortion and harassment. Amnesty International a few years back had to do a special report on SARS, and it's been described as a unit of the police that is licensed to kill. Now, if the SARS is not serving its purpose, it should be scrapped, because it's a unit for extortion, for terrorism, for harassment, and it's a very corrupt unit of the Nigeria police. So the Inspector General of Police should revisit his directive in February, when he said he was shutting down just satellite offices. It's the whole of the SARS that should be scrapped, because I think here there's a psychological problem with people who are called Special Anti-Robbery Squad. What have they done to check robbery? They have not succeeded. But they've done a lot in extorting money from Nigerians and harassing Nigerians and killing people unnecessarily.
That's another outrage. Rufai, your take on this story?
For the fact that we are still talking about SARS and their excesses till date is shocking for me. We have seen what SARS has done over the years. We've seen how they've hurt a lot of people. We have heard stories of places like Lion Building and co. And for the fact that we are still seeing this, and we're still even talking about it, then there's a big problem. And it behoves on us the opportunity again to pick maybe the welfare of every citizen in this Nigeria matters more, or police structures that are akin to destructive structures matters more. We all know the story about SARS, and we can't deceive ourselves. We all know how they've plundered. We all know how young people can't carry bag with laptops again. They stop you. They do all sorts. We all heard stories about how they will even take you to your own ATM with your ATM card to an ATM machine and collect money from you before they can let you go. We all know how people have shown them ID card and they'll still round you up. So for the fact that we are still talking about it, because it's not today we've been talking about SARS, and nothing has been done about it, then it's a strong indication that I don't think anything will be done about it soon. We'll still talk about it next year and the year after next.
Well, let's see what the new police reform bill will bring, I hope that it helps, I mean, I can't even imagine we're still talking about this. We'll take another story. Human rights group Amnesty International has called on President Muhammadu Buhari to order the immediate release of children associated with conflicts in northeast Nigeria who have been detained in military bases and other detention facilities across the region. On May 27th, the group published a report entitled "We Dried Our Tears," highlighting how the military's widespread unlawful detention and torture have compounded the suffering of children from Borno and Adamawa states who faced war crimes and crimes against humanity at the hands of Boko Haram. In an open letter, the group urged the president to use his influence and authority as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces to ensure that these children are not only released, but also given access to education and psychological support. I mean, this has been a long battle between the Amnesty International group and the Nigerian military. I mean, back in 2015, they also had published a report accusing the Nigerian military of killing thousands of people that have been detained in these military bases. And all they are asking is that that the federal government to ensure that these children are brought before a competent court, at least to be able to challenge, their detention. They claim that they had interviewed over 230 people in those detention camps. 119 of them, which are children, have said that they are victims and they have been tortured. I mean, this is an outcry, really, and I think that the Nigerian military and the federal government should really look into it because it's really a long-drawn battle at this point.
It is sad and it is disheartening to hear. I mean, more and more we continue to hear how the Nigerian child has become an endangered species wherever you look in any part of the country. I think Dr. Bati will speak better to this. There's the age of criminal liability. So I don't even know the ages of these children. But
yes,
even at that, they should be given special hearing, special trial, and make sure that, they are not victimized all over again. Children who have suffered terrifying conditions as a result of the insurgency now have to face these challenges compounded by even removing them from their parents and guardians and loved ones. So you can imagine the psychological trauma that these children will have. What is the future of Nigeria looking like? It's sad for me.
There are two tracks in criminal justice administration. There is the juvenile track, there is the adult track. But, under the juvenile track, children under the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child are described as persons below the age of 18. Crimes committed by young persons are treated as juvenile delinquency. So under juvenile justice, the basic assumption, the theoretical assumption, is that these are young people who are immature, who are not emotionally mature enough. And so when you have young persons committing crimes, they are treated differently. And the relevant laws include the Nigerian Constitution, 1999 as amended, the Penal Code, sections of the Criminal Code, and then the Children and Young Persons Act of Nigeria, and then, of course, the Child Rights Act of 2013. So under all of these, provisions, the relevant provisions in all of these legislations, the way you treat a child who has committed an offense is different from the way you treat an adult. And that's why we have juvenile remand homes. And the whole principle is that, look, when children commit crimes, they can be rehabilitated, reformed, reintegrated. But what we have found in Nigeria is that children are treated as if they were adults. And at the moment, the reality as disclosed by Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International is that we have up to about 6,000 Nigerian children who are either in detention, in police stations, or they are in military formations who have been imprisoned, and they fall into different categories. You have those children who were arrested along with their parents. You have those children who were born while their parents are in detention or in prison. Or you have children who commit crimes. These days, you have children who act as suicide bombers, who get engaged in armed robbery, and all of these have implications for the health of society. So this is not new. In 2019, Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch raised the same protest about children in detention, and about 300 children were released by the Nigerian authorities. But we see that more and more children are being detained or imprisoned, and that's unfortunate. And the most dramatic case occurred just a few days ago, the case of Omar Farouk, a 13-year-old who was sentenced to death. Yes. Was it death? Yes.
10 years with...
was it 10 years?
Yes.
Okay, for what? For blasphemy.
Yes.
A 13-year-old who was said to be having an argument with a friend, and that he said things that were blasphemous. So all of this should be looked into, and the authorities should stop mixing the juvenile track and the adult track in the justice administration system.
Yes. Well, I think we do have more stories. I think we should just take a quick break, and then we'll come back and continue on what's trending.
We'll continue with what's trending with OG Okpe. OG Okpe, you are in charge. I've always said it, but now I've seen it.
No, you didn't go there.
You are in charge, please.
Always. Well, let's head over to the UK now, where some scholarship beneficiaries of the Niger Delta Development Commission stormed the Nigerian High Commission in London to demand payment of their scholarship funds. The NDDC scholars of 2018 have accused the Commission of refusing to comply with the directive of President Muhammadu Buhari to pay their outstanding fees. They are claiming that 2 months after the directive, some of their tuition and stipends have not been paid. However, on September 11th, the Commission's Public Affairs Director, Charles Odili, stated that the Commission had fulfilled all verified obligations to the scholars and described the students requesting for the additional funds as hirelings who are masquerading as the Commission's scholars. Well, at the protest, which was held on Tuesday, here's what the scholars had to say.
Statement made by the head of public affairs, the NDDC, by Charles Odili, that we are not scholars. I have my verified letter here. I had my verified NDDC letter here with me. We are not touts. We were sent here on a mission to make sure that we achieve what we're meant to achieve as scholars. We're ambassadors of Nigeria. But coming down here to see that these guys have denied us, it is not fair, it is not right, it is not good. As a human being, I don't see any reason why they would say that we are touts, miscreants. We are going students for over a year. We came here to school, we've been subjected to different conditions. And at the end of the day, you are now denying us. You're sitting in front of your house, you're sitting at the comfort of your room, and you're making such statements, such libelous statements against Nigerian students. We're all ambassadors.
I mean, this is incredible. You know, the Commission has come out to say that they are going to fly to the United Kingdom to verify these claims. I mean, I don't understand why you'll have to go to the United Kingdom to verify the claims that are already out there. You know, these 2018 scholars are claiming that, you know, they have excluded about 94 of them, you know, that, you know, in 2018 they were awarded, 200 of them scholarship, and each of them were to be paid $30,000 each for their scholarship and stipend. But you know that the Commission said that they had paid $900,000. I mean, how does that even equate? If you calculate all of that, 200 students versus $30,000, how much does that come up to? It doesn't equate at all. So this is the issue here. And I don't understand why it is so difficult to verify these people and pay them. I mean, like he said, they're ambassadors.
Nothing surprises me anymore at this point from the NDDC. After all, during the lockdown, from the revelations we have seen, the NDDC budgeted money to travel abroad. The NDDC budgeted so many monies that did not make sense. So if they said they want to travel to go and verify in person, which doesn't make a lot of sense, I am not surprised. But it is outright scandalous. You know, resorting to calling them names doesn't solve the issue here. It's not the first time we have seen students like this, you know, protests. We had a story such as this at the end of this year, and then the president had to step in to say, pay them, you know, their scholarship. So I think that the NDDC has a lot more work to do other than resorting to name calling. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, let's contextualize it. You will recall that at first, when the NDDC scholars protested, the excuse that was given by the Niger Delta Development Commission was that the Director of Finance died. And because the Director of Finance died, payments could not be made, which we dismissed at the time as a very scandalous excuse. And that went on. The monies were not paid until the president gave an express directive to say that NDDC scholars who are stranded abroad should be paid their scholarships. Now, money was released, and we were told that the 2019 batch was paid. But the people who are protesting now are the people who are under the 2018 batch who have not been paid, about 300 of them. And part of their protest is that they believe that the payment process was selective and discriminatory. And that many of the persons who have not been paid up to this moment were persons who led the protest. And you could see the indication of that in the latest protest. They were covering their faces with placards because they didn't want to be identified. At another level of the protest, even their children, some of them who are children, came out carrying placards saying, federal government of Nigeria, please pay our daddy his scholarship fees. I think it's ridiculous. It is embarrassing. The whole idea of scholarship for young Nigerians is to encourage them, to motivate them, to invest in human capital. The president only 2 days ago was talking about our people being our assets.
Exactly.
So there's a contradiction there. And I think that the president may need to intervene afresh to make sure that there is no discrimination, there is no, politics being played with this payment. The NDDC is saying they need to carry out verification. The protesters are saying they have gone through 2 different rounds of verification and that they have the relevant records. What they require is just for persons to be paid. And as for that NDDC official saying that these are hirelings, masquerading as scholars, I think that, look, government officials should learn to be diplomatic.
With their statements.
Understand the main objectives of the assignment that they have been given.
Yeah.
The job of the NDDC is not to be exchanging words and abusing scholars. Their job is to pay the scholarship fund as approved and as directed by the president of Nigeria. Otherwise, the president should get involved personally and sanction whoever is embarrassing Nigeria internationally.
Very good. We'll take our final story that has been trending on social media. Nigerian philanthropist and billionaire Femi Otedola on Wednesday surprised his 3 daughters with the latest Ferrari Portofino. The Ferraris came in different colors that seemed to suit the personalities of his 3 daughters. Popular disc jockey DJ Okpe's ride came in her signature pink color, and the family's fashionista Temi's ride came in a nice brown color, while Tolani's Ferrari came in a cool blue color. The excited girls took to social media to share their photos, the photos of their father's gifts. The Ferrari Portofino's pricing starts from 83 million naira. Rufai, I'd love your comment on this story that has been trending on social media right after you comment on the NDDC scholars.
All right, real quickly for me, the NDDC scholars, I'll say this. I think it was Dwight Eisenhower that says a country that values privilege over purpose very soon will soon lose the privilege and the purpose. It's looking like that in this country. The NDDC officials can enjoy all the privileges of the NDDC, but the students that are scholars that are supposed to go out there and get the required knowledge to come improve this country, no. We can't pay them their stipends. Why? Even because they go out to protest to ask for their rights. Are they supposed to protest and ask for their rights in the first place if everything was okay? But we all saw how this played out, even on Arise TV. The big scandal in the NDDC that I think has been swept under the carpet now. We've all seen how monies were disbursed here and there, contracts here and there. But students that have the purpose to come back and develop this country are being treated this way. So, be the judge yourself. It speaks volumes about this country. But a country that values privilege over purpose will soon lose both. And it looks as though we value the privilege, the good things, the largesse from government, rather than the purpose of training people that will come back and contribute a quota to this economy. Femi Otedola's case and the daughters, congratulations to them. Their father bought them a car. My father too takes me out on shopping. He doesn't have the money for a Ferrari, but whatever he buys for me, I accept and I appreciate. Even if it's a Sala or Guguru or Ekpa, he brings back home or Apple, my father is my father.
Well,
and I appreciate him for that.
Yeah.
Their father can afford them a Ferrari. Good for them. So I don't see any big deal about this.
Well, I think it's a big deal. Everyone is asking, who's your daddy? Or this one, who's your daddy?
It's definitely not Otedola.
I know. It's such a beautiful story, I think. And she's not just a philanthropist.
While talking about your Otedola sisters, you should also check out what the Ikorodu boys have done.
Yes, if we have those photos, we can pull them. Yeah, we have the photos of the Ikorodu boys. We do have those.
Of the message by the Ikorodu boys is what I even find more exciting. But reactions have been mixed.
Yes.
Papa took us shopping and he bought us Ferraris. Some people have said, oh, congratulations, this is really nice.
Yes.
This is Otedola playing the role of a good father, a loving father, and all of that. But some people have also gone on social media to tell their parents, say, Papa, see your mates.
See your mates.
Where were you?
But that's wrong. Dr. Abati, that's wrong. That's what we should correct in this country. That's wrong. That's wrong.
These are the fallouts.
Because the father can afford to buy you a Ferrari doesn't mean your father has not done well.
Well, people can.
I'm sorry. Let's correct that. That's wrong.
I hope we won't have a situation whereby every child will now be oppressing their parents, saying, Daddy, you have to take me shopping too. You have to be like Otedola. What did Femi Otedola do that you have not been able to do?
That's what's going on.
But in any case, those vehicles, lovely vehicles,
beautiful.
Ferrari, but can they drive those vehicles on the streets of Lagos?
That's another question, Dr. Abati.
With all the drainage problems and the flood.
Well, we've seen those cars.
Those vehicles can only be driven outside Nigeria, I believe.
Well, thank you guys so much today. And, you guys have a great weekend. Thank you, Rufai.
Thank you, Ojay.
See you next week.
And that's all on What's Trending.